Hello everyone! Today's video is part one of a two-part series where I am focusing on decluttering and organizing my kitchen. It has been a long time coming and I am so very excited to share this with you. I have some great tips and organization tools to help you make your kitchen more efficient without spending any money. So I hope that you enjoy. The first thing I'm going to do is take everything out of my drawers and my cabinets and place it on my countertops and my table. I like to do this before I start decluttering everything and throwing things away so that I can see everything that I have. I want to make sure that if I have duplicates of something, then maybe I only need to get rid of one, or if something's broken. I also like to just see everything because that allows me to space plan what I'm putting where. So I have a good idea of where I want things to be once I take them out, but being able to see it and everything that goes with certain categories just really allows me to visualize it rather than just see it on paper. When I think of people who declutter, I think of people in two different categories. One, those who really truly enjoy doing it and find joy out of decluttering spaces and cleaning things out, making them tidy. I feel like I'm one of those people. I truly enjoy getting rid of things and having less clutter around. Or two, I find that there's people that like to declutter because they have a specific purpose, a why or motivation behind their reasonings of decluttering. And in this instance, I actually have a why. So I have two of them today. And so I was just going to go ahead and share that with you because I think it's important that if you don't like to declutter, you have a why. So for our family, it's growing in two different ways. One is that my mother-in-law lives with us now and she does our dishes a majority of the time and she puts them away. But there are things due to poor planning on my part in our cabinets that she can't reach, or kind of low and tucked behind these shelves that also are difficult for her to reach. And so I want to reorganize the space so that it makes it easy for her. But also my kids are growing up and they're getting a little older and more independent and able to put things away and grab things on their own, such as their lunch pail or their thermoses. So I want to create a space for a kid zone that allows them to do just that. Grab and put things away as they need. And before we get too deep into the video, my name's Megan Renee, so thank you for watching. I like to make videos that are about cleaning and organizing and decluttering and all the things homemaking. I'm a working mom of two kids, married to my high school sweetheart, and I actually enjoy cleaning. So I like to share that, as well as some healthy meal prepping ideas and recipe ideas for you for those busy weeknights. So if that's something that you are interested in, I would really appreciate your like and subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell so you know when I post a new video. Okay, so far I have all of this plus all of this. And all of this. This is just getting taken out of the bottom and I've ran out of space. So I need to go throw away the things that I know are throwaways and put aside the items that I know for sure I'm getting rid of before I can start working on the pantry and the top shelves so that I have room to do a full bird's eye view of everything I have. So I'm gonna start doing that and then I'll check back in. So I have this tote here. I'm gonna use this to start putting all the things that I want to donate. I'm gonna start stacking them in here so that I can clear up more space. And then I'm also gonna go through and get rid of all the items that aren't worthy of donation and can go ahead and get either recycled or thrown away. Even though I don't have everything out yet, my process is to touch every single item and ask myself 2 questions. Do I use this, and is it really needed? If the answer is no, then it's going to the donate pile. If it's broken or if it's not donatable, it's headed to the trash. I want this kitchen to only hold things that serve a specific purpose. What you doing? Hi, handsome. The things you find when you pull out your drawers. Yikes. I even found taxes, I won't show them, for the previous homeowner. Oops. This is everything that came out from underneath this drawer. I can't believe with all this and this that the drawer closed. That's pretty amazing. But this is quite deeper than the drawer, so that's probably why. But check out all that dust. Here's an example of poor planning. As you can see, most of our commonly used thermoses are at the very top, and I'm having to use a ladder to reach them. Also, my kids' lunch pails are also at the top. So another reason why I wanted to pull everything out and reorganize everything. And right now I'm going through all of our thermoses and just pulling out all the ones that we don't use. Those 2 Halloween mugs, I don't know what I was thinking. I ended up pulling them out. I still have them. But I went through all of them. I made sure, do they have lids? If they don't, they're gone. If they did, do we use them? Are they old? Are they chipped? Are they dented or ugly or whichever the case may be that causes us not to use it? And we put it in the donate pile. And now I'm checking all the food items that were shoved back in the cabinet and checking for expiration dates and trashing any of those. Okay, this is a day 2 check-in, and here's everything that I brought out as of last night when I stopped. Everything pretty the same up here, maybe a couple other things, but where I really brought it out was over here. So I still have that drawer and those 2 cabinets, not drawers, but cabinets to take out, but everything else is empty. But I need to start putting things away. So I have these drawer liners I'm gonna start putting in before I start putting everything away so that I can rearrange the rest of my cabinets. I got these at the dollar store for $1.25, and I hope they fit perfectly, which is awesome. I just have to measure the length. So I'm gonna get started. So I did start by measuring the length of each drawer. I have a few drawers that are 14 inches in length, quite a few that are 16, and then one very large one. And so I just wrote them all out and went to the cutting area and cut my pieces. I lost track though of which ones were which, but after I cut them out, what I did was I peeled back just maybe an inch or 2 off of what I was going to put in the back, folded it, and then just stuck the back part together. And this is the first one that I did, and I found it to be pretty easy. The following drawers, I had a little bit more hassle, but it was more, it didn't have to do with the technique. Maybe there's a better way out there, but I thought the technique was good. Once you get it aligned, it's pretty simple. It's just all about going slow and making sure that you flatten and stick all your pieces together. Where you screw up is having either an unclean surface or a wet surface, or you're peeling it too fast and you get air bubbles. That's where you get in trouble. So when I pre-cut a lot of the liners, I overcut them a little bit because when I was imagining it, I was imagining some of the liner to curl up into the sides, kind of making like a bowl or an upward liner, but it wasn't sticking very well. So what I had to do is come in and kind of crease it into the corner and then use my box cutter to cut along the edge to make it closer to the edge as possible. And that worked out pretty well for the bigger ones. Not so much for the little one because it just got a little tight in there. But once I cut a good kind of crisp line, I was able to pull the excess off and then turn it around and use the same technique that I did before to apply it. So as you can see, what I'm going to do is peel apart about 1.5 inches to 2 inches off the top or back, kind of depending on whichever way you prefer to do it. And then I fold it down so that it doesn't get in the way. And then I just align it with the back. And you press it down, make sure you get a good firm press. And you also want to make sure that there's no debris on the bottom of your cabinet or your drawer. And then inside that little lip that you folded down, pull with one hand very slowly, and then use your other hand to make sure to firmly press and stick it to the bottom of your drawer, and then just keep repeating that process over and over again. And I can't stress this enough, slow is good. Slow will get you smooth, and slow will get you very little air bubbles. And then once I was done, I went around with the edge of my fingernails and just really pressed in the creases to make sure that there was nothing coming up and no edges that were gonna peel up. And that's what they look like. And now that my drawers are all pretty and protected, I'm going to start putting some things away so that I can make space for the other items that I need to pull out and declutter. And I'm starting with this drawer because it's pretty much going to look the same. And so I'm just putting things back, probably changing up a little bit, making sure that everything fits. This is always kind of a little bit of a wonky drawer, but in the end it worked out really nicely. With those liners, I just wanted to add, there was 2 reasons I decided to do the liners. One was they are pretty and they were cheap, so I figured it was a nice way to kind of glow up the kitchen, if you will. But also some of the paint does start to chip off in some areas, or we've spilt either water or something on the bottom of one of the drawers that made the wood underneath the paint exposed, and I just wanted to add a little bit of protection to that without having to do a whole painting project or, you know, do anything that's really heavy duty. So that's the reason why I decided to go ahead and do the liners, and they've held up really well. Moving on, this drawer is also quite the same with just minor changes. This drawer is where I house all of our usable straws and our lids for either our tumblers or our thermoses, and also our corn on the cob trays. It works out really well because I end up putting our thermoses and all of our tumblers in the large drawer next to it, which ended up just being perfect. When I pulled all of the thermoses and tumblers out, I made sure to go through all of the lids and to match them. Anything that I kept has a lid. That was really important to me. I wanted to make sure that there was no either extra lids or tumblers or thermoses without lids. So I know that everything that I have has a matching lid, and so I tried to organize it with thermos lids and tumbler lids, and then our specialty lids up top. So this is where I decided to put all of the thermoses and tumblers. And the reason why I wanted to put it here is because, one, it's right next to the refrigerator and the ice maker. Two, it's right next to the drawer that I wanted to keep our straws and lids. And also, my mother-in-law can reach it and easily put things away. But the one mistake I made is that I still had some that were in the dishwasher. And so when I went to go put it away, they didn't all fit. So I went back to the table and looked at what I had and gave a couple more to the donation pile. So one of the things that really helped me throughout this process, because it was a very big process, was something that I used to kind of blueprint my kitchen and decide where I wanted to place things. So as I mentioned, I've been working on this for quite a few months now, thinking of where I wanted my items to be placed, because where am I most using it, what's easily accessible for us. And what I did was I took a big piece of paper and I pretty much blueprinted and mapped out my kitchen, all of the cabinets, all of the drawers, and I wrote down what I think should go in that space. Not what's in there already, but what I think should go there. And not every drawer or every cabinet changed. Some of the things I had right, but there was quite a few things that I didn't have right. And so I thought that that was so incredibly helpful for me, and it acted as a map for as I'm putting things away. I didn't have to think of, oh shoot, where am I putting this again? Because I already knew. And because I've been working on it for so long, months long, I was able to revisit it every probably other week or so, just to make sure that things were still where I think that they should be. So for example, I do most of my meal prepping right here in this spot. So why not have all my meal prepping tools right here? So that's one of the big changes that I did. And I do most of my baking prep in this spot. So why not have all of my baking tools on this side? And so again, just another thing to show the big change that I made, just to make it more efficient and easier on my life. Okay, so it's 12:33 right now. I'm tired. My back hurts. It took me about an hour just to do the drawer liners, maybe an hour and a half, because I was trying to find a groove, and I finally found one that worked. But I got, as you can see, most of this cleaned up behind me. I've got most of the big appliances away, but I still have to pull out the top drawers and redo those and the pantry. But I gotta go pick up my kids, and I'm tired. I have some chores to do at my mom's, and I don't want to exhaust myself before I do that. So this is looking like there's gonna be a part 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video right now, but check out next week's video for the complete kitchen declutter and organize, so that you can see exactly what I've done throughout the entire cabinet. And I hope that you've enjoyed this so far. I hope it gave you motivation to declutter your own kitchen and your own things without having to go spend money on beautiful organizers and plenty of things like that. So I will see you in the next one. I hope you enjoy what I've done so far. Bye-bye. Maybe I should consult my project manager. Bert, what do you think? Do it later? Yeah, I agree.
I'm thinking you were made for me. Isn't it my birthday yet? 'Cause I gotta say, you're looking